What's up, everybody? Hookshot Podcast back again, episode 7 in a different room.
Yes, sir.
With new equipment.
Much better.
Why don't you
Much
look at
better.
this? We're back. If you guys don't know, if this is your first time listening, my name's Lucas Cohen. This is Rohan.
What's up, everybody?
Gorgeous Rohan. James Bond. Whatever you want to say. I'm just excited, man. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I'm ready to go, man. Look at this.
sir.
I'm feeling good right now. We have a lot to talk about. We have a pay-per-view coming up. We have the NBA Finals ended soon because Denver's going to spank the Heat, but we'll talk about that soon. But yeah, man, dude, let's just get right into it because, man, I'm so hyped for this pay-per-view card. And it's not the best pay-per-view, but, man, those two main fights are going to be real interesting. I'll tell you that. And we could start with the main event, Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. We had this conversation just a couple of minutes ago. Prediction. Give me an in-detail prediction. Break down this fight and give me your prediction, and then I'll go, Rohan.
All right, so
Talk to them.
all right, yeah, I got you. So listen, everybody, I'm seeing a lot of picks on Twitter that Irene Aldana might pull off the upset, and I tend not to like fully agree. I don't want to 100% pick her in this fight, but I think there's a path for her to win. Number one, on the feet. We've seen Amanda Nunes struggle in her past 3 fights. That's just a flat-out true statement. She struggled in the first fight against Juliana Pena, and arguably lost those interactions on the feet. And then in the second fight, although she dominated her largely on the feet, she did still get caught, and she does tend to just get a little wild in there. Amanda Nunes, she has the tendency to just swing for the fences when she feels like it's over, right? And she goes for the kill, the lioness. But Irene Aldana is the rangier fighter. She has the length, she has the reach advantage, and she's very calculated and very good on the feet. She has a solid jab, a very solid 2, and she just understands angles. She's a really good boxer in general. I think this is a close fight on the feet. But the area of concern, obviously, to your point earlier, is that, you know, Irene has no takedown defense, and Amanda Nunes is one of the best grapplers in that division. She is probably going to do whatever she wants if she can get her to the ground. I just think Irene has like the ability to keep this fight at a distance, and Amanda might fall into the trap of just wanting to stand and strike with her. And she's done that in the past. She's not always going to want to take you down. If you're Megan Anderson and you're 6 foot whatever, then you're a little longer. She wants to take you to the ground. That makes sense. But, you know, Irene Aldana, I think she can keep this fight on the feet. And if she can do that for a larger period of time, I think that she has the chance to not get caught and pull out the victory upset.
There's definitely a chance. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, that Mexican fighting spirit, I know it's not a myth, bro. That's a real thing.
It is a real thing. I mean, these Mexicans, they've really been on a spree from Carasso, from Moreno to Yair.
I mean, this is their time, bro.
This is their time.
They're the new Brazilians.
But, man, I'm going to have to go Nunes, man. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I think Aldana wins exchanges on the feet, as you said. But also, as you said, man, that grappling, that wrestling is just... For Nunes, it's on a different level. And I know we saw in that first Pena fight, she gassed out, but there was clearly something wrong there. She came back in fight number 2 and proved she could do everything perfectly fine. Cardio was fantastic. If she shows up like she did in that Pena number 2, she's going to beat Aldana fairly easily. If you look at Aldana's last fight, I believe, was her last fight Chiasson?
Yeah. That's when she went with the body kick. That was crazy, by the way.
It was crazy.
Incredible.
But in my opinion, that's the definition of a lucky shot.
No, I understand.
It is. It 100% is. Yeah. And if you're getting taken down and controlled by Macy Chiasson, what is the double champ Amanda Nunes going to do to you? And that's the main point. That's really significant when it comes to this fight. And I just think that's going to be key for Amanda Nunes. And don't get me wrong, when they're on the feet, Aldana will have that chance. She will, 100%. But in my opinion, I just think Nunes is so experienced with the ground game, so experienced everywhere. She has the championship IQ, mentality, all of the above, man. Aldana has a chance. Don't get me wrong. And I'd take a small stab at that underdog ticket. But my pick here has got to be Amanda Nunes just because that grappling and wrestling pedigree of Nunes and Aldana, it's just a different level in my opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, like if life on the line pick, I'm going Amanda Nunes just
life on the line.
she's the GOAT. But
she's got a shot. You're 100%
right. I think she has
that.
a shot. Like against Valentina with Alexa Grasso, I was like, oh, she doesn't really have a shot, and she proved me wrong.
No, I'm not remember who called that? Who called that?
You did call it. That was
who called that?
That was great.
Minus 900 Shevchenko was who called that?
You did call that. That was crazy.
Yeah,
but
that's right. I called it. Yeah.
I always want to rub in when he gets it right. But
sorry about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. A lot of Amanda Nunes fights are one-sided. I don't think that's going to be entirely the case. I think it's going to be competitive.
It's going to be competitive. But I'm going to go 4-1 Nunes.
Okay, that's fair, yeah. But there can be competitive 4-1s. That
100%. 100%. Yeah. They're going to be close rounds for sure. Yeah. Aldana's like I said, Aldana will win some striking exchanges. So will Nunes. But it's just going to be that wrestling that's good. That's going to win her the fight.
Yeah.
So there are predictions for the main event. Co-main event, man, I might be more excited than the main event.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
This is going to be good.
No offense.
Charlie Dubronx Oliveira taking on Beneil Dariush. Yeah. And, man, you look at the line, and it's as hard to pick as the line says. Dead even, -110, -110. Man, I'll go first because I have a strong opinion on this, and we just talked about this, and I'll just repeat what I said. You look at Charles Oliveira's title reign, right? First guy, he fought Michael Chandler. Second guy, Justin Gaethje. Second guy was Poirier. Third guy was Gaethje.
Yeah.
And then he obviously lost to Makhachev. Completely different styles. You look at those 3 fights Oliveira won. Chandler, Poirier, and Gaethje were all gas. They were all gas, man. They got excited in that round 1. They hurt Oliveira. And for the rest of the fight, they were just dominated. They just were. Chandler knocked out quick. Poirier was kind of an exception. He was held down for an entire round and then finished in round 3. He was gassed out. And then Justin Gaethje hurt Oliveira the most and then was finished in that first round. Beneil Dariush is here, folks. He's been waiting for this opportunity his entire career, and he's not going to throw it away being stupid. He'll probably clip Oliveira, but he's going to be patient. And unlike these other guys that Oliveira fought in his championship wins, Dariush is wrestling, man. Dariush is wrestling. He's going to be able to defend those threats on Oliveira if Oliveira ever takes his back or has him in dangerous positions. I just think Beneil Dariush, this is really his moment to finally get that title shot he's been looking for. He's going to be patient. And this is the nightmare, besides Islam Makhachev, the champion. This is the nightmare matchup for Charles Oliveira out of all the contenders. I don't know why he'd take this fight. And it will still be close. Like the main event, Oliveira's still going to have his moments, 100%. But, man, I've got to go Dariush decision. And that's a ticket I'll probably be punching as well. How about you? What do you think?
Bro, I couldn't agree more. Like 100%, I have Beneil for the exact same reasons. Like he is not gonna fall into that trap that Dustin and Justin and Michael did. Like when they're just getting crazy aggressive and crazy because they think they can finish him because he's willing to engage. Charles is always willing to engage. But Beneil is going to be calculated as ever. He takes his time. Did you see his last fight, guys? I mean, Mateusz Gamrot. What was the odds on that? Wasn't he an underdog? Or?
I think he was a slight underdog,
Dude,
yeah.
Beneil made Mateusz look like he should not have been in the cage with him on that night. He really did. That one right hand off the cage that he dropped his ass.
It was a left, but man.
Yeah, left. My bad.
The sound of that shot.
Dude, that was vicious. And that's the type of thing he can do when he's just taking his time. He's seeing everything and he's able to counter. He's going to be able to do that against Charles because Charles is not that dangerous on the feet if you don't give him a reason to be. And if Charles gets this to the ground, obviously he's going to have advantage. But Beneil is very, very good off of his back. He's very good in the guard as well. He has great MMA jiu-jitsu background. He's not like Justin and Dustin who are just going to give you their back. Like a lot of people just do that. I don't understand how that happens, but they're just not that, good on the ground and they don't have that basic understanding of the fundamentals. But Beneil does, and he's not going to fall into those traps. I think this is his time. I agree with you. Beneil by decision.
And I hate to bring in MMA math in this because I know it's been proven wrong so many times.
You can never trust
that. But look at the connection between Dariush and Gamrot. If my Wi-Fi decides to work, there we go. Gamrot has beaten Sarukian, Kurlatse, arguably, and then Jalen Turner. And then Beneil Dariush just won every single round against him. Yeah. I mean, again, I hate to bring in MMA math, but those are some real good contenders, man. Guys that are lower in the rankings, but should be fighting for titles very soon. And, man, if Dariush did what he did to Gamrot like that, man, just completely eliminating any threat, I just think the same thing's going to happen here with Oliveira. A clean sweep for Dariush, probably a left hand hurting him at some point. I see a very similar result compared to that Gamrot fight. We both agree here. Yeah. Beneil Dariush and then Amanda Nunes in the main event. And we could just take a peek at the rest of the card. It's about this card isn't really too stacked, but it's a Canadian card, right? Yeah. Almost every fight includes a Canadian. The only fight that really sticks out is that featured prelim between Nasruddin Imavov and Chris Curtis. That should be a good one.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. And we remember when we were playing like UFC Matchmaker when we were trying to pair who it was after Buckley
In the
fought
beginning, yeah,
Imavov,
that was like September.
And we were like, who would their next fight be? And we put Buckley and Curtis together, and they fought.
Yeah.
And Nasruddin, I forget who we put him with, but
Gastelum, I think it was.
Gastelum, yeah.
And then he pulled out.
Yeah, but now it's Nasruddin and Chris Curtis, and that's funny.
It's a little love triangle.
That's funny, exactly.
It's a little love
triangle. But dude, I gotta go Nasruddin Imavov.
I agree.
This. What's the line on this? Can you tell me?
I think Imavov is the slightest of favorites.
He should be. I mean, Chris Curtis has impressed me. His last fight, he did impress me on the feet. You know, he's a stand and bang kind of guy, though. Nasruddin has a great jab. He has a great base of a striking.
Minus 130 for Nasruddin.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. He's the longer fighter. He's taller, and I think that's going to help him in this fight a lot. Chris Curtis is not going to look to take this fight to the ground.
And what a quick turnaround for Curtis, man. This guy fights so often.
Yeah, who? Last fight was against
Gastelum.
Gastelum, yeah, and
Speak
that fight
about
was
the triangle.
crazy. And obviously that was a you know a questionable decision. You know, Gastelum won that one, but Curtis felt like he might have won it. It was close, man. But again, it was just a wild fight from the start to finish. It was back and forth, nonstop. You know, one fighter throwing another fighter response, and I don't think it's going to be like that in this fight. I think Nasruddin controls the tempo, controls the pace of this fight, picks his moments, and I think he wins this by decision. I'm going to give it 2 rounds to 1.
Everything. I'm not even going to break it down because I agree with everything he just said.
Exactly.
Give me Imavov by decision as well.
Yeah.
So I guess that'll do it for UFC. Got some good fight night cards coming up after that as well. Looking forward to it. Let's transition into basketball. We're talking about the NBA Finals right now. And by the time we can say this now, by the time this comes out, it's either going to be 2-0 Nuggets or 1-1. Series tied 1-1. And as I just said, man, I just don't see how the Heat win, man. I just don't. I simply don't. I mean, I just think they're a bootleg version of the Nuggets, and I know I keep saying it, but I truly believe it. You look at the layout of both teams. You've got your scorer, Jamal. You've got your scorer, Jimmy Butler. You've got your passing big that can do everything. Bam, Jokic. You've got your role players, Caleb Martin, Aaron Gordon. Your shooting guard, Max Strus, Kentavious. But, man, I just think the Nuggets are just slightly better. They're just a slightly better team. And I think this is so obviously Nuggets in 5 or 6. I don't see how Miami wins this series, but tell me, how does Miami win this series? I just, unless Jokic dies, as I just said, I don't see how Miami does it.
I mean,
and I don't want to be proven wrong either because I fucking hate Miami. Go ahead.
I didn't pick Miami to win this series initially. I picked Denver in 6, and I'm going to stick by that pick. But I do still see like a pathway for Miami to win this series. I think Eric Spoelstra is such a bright mind that I trust him to come up with a solution to some of these problems that Miami's currently facing. Namely, Jimmy Butler, he has to be more aggressive. He's getting the matchup that he wants against Jamal Murray. He got it a few times in that game. He was reluctant to take it. He should be doing the same thing against Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. He is the guy that is going to bully these smaller guards because that's the matchup that he likes. He was doing that to Derek White in the last series. And when the games that he didn't do it, that's when the Heat were at their worst. He has to be aggressive, bro.
You can curse, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, I don't want to get too mad, but like that last fucking game, you can't have 14 points on like whatever the fuck.
You're not wrong.
Bro, he's got to like, and you can't tell me, dude, they only lost by 11 points. Max Strus shot what? 0 of 10. Caleb Martin shot 1 of 7. Bro, 5 or 6 of those shots go in. We're looking at a completely different game. Jokic is going to do what Jokic does, bro. He's the best fucking player in the world. Miami has to listen.
Number one player in basketball, Nikola Jokic, over everybody else.
He's proved it. He's the best player in basketball. The Miami Heat are going to have their hands full trying to figure out ways to deal with this guy. But they have to keep throwing different looks at him. They have to keep mixing up the coverages. Throw in the zone sometimes, but don't, give him an advantage by fronting and then you letting the Denver Nuggets guards just drive to the paint free because you're paying too much attention. You just got to be on alert at all times. And I think when the offense is clicking, the defense will click even more. And I just think that the Heat have the pieces to do this, bro. The role players got to step up. They got to fucking make shots. And if they make shots and Jimmy's aggressive, they can beat anybody, bro. They've proved they beat the fucking 1 seed and 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. The consensus 2 best teams in the league through most of the season. They beat them, no problem. 5 and 6 games. They can beat Denver, bro. That's all I got to say.
Get a little closer,
they can beat Denver. You can't tell me. I mean, I know.
Okay, here's something else that I want to point out.
Yeah.
I feel like if they solve the issue that is Nikola Jokic, his scoring.
There's no solving.
I mean, if they solve. I just think once the Heat solve one problem, it'll open up another problem. Defensively, I get it. They can get hot on offense. I completely get it.
Yeah,
they have these role players that can ball the fuck out at any moment. But man, I just think defensively is where the issue lies. Once the Heat figure out the Jokic passing problem and being able to get everybody open, it's going to lead to more Jokic buckets and vice versa, man. Whatever they try to fix, there's just going to be more openings for the Nuggets. And unlike these other teams, I just don't see the Nuggets breaking. And that's a key word, breaking. The Nuggets are not going to break in this series, no matter how tough the going gets. And we saw Miami has put together some incredible comebacks over these playoffs. But man, we saw in that game 1 too. Nuggets were up 25 points, I believe, at one point. And the Heat started closing in. I believe they got it to single digits in that fourth quarter at one point. But the Nuggets just kept going. They kept going. And against the Celtics team, maybe the Heat would have been able to make that comeback. But I just don't seeing that happen. I think that game 1 is a very strong representation of how the rest of the series is going to play out. And that's why I'm so strong in this Nuggets in 5 or 6, man. It's one or the other. I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat get two games. I don't see it going to 7. Final pick, Nuggets in 6. Nuggets in 6. Wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if they ended in 5. But as you said, Nuggets in 6. Has your prediction changed at all?
Nah, man. It's gonna say. Look, I just spent all that time advocating for Miami, and I'm still gonna maintain my stance. I'm gonna say Nuggets in 6 as well. I think Jokic is too tough of a puzzle to solve, bro. Like to your point, and it was a great one. When you solve one problem with him, you're just opening the door to another. Because you look at him, he's the zone buster, bro. Like whatever you try to play zone defense, he's just gonna find the holes. He's gonna penetrate at the right time. He's gonna kick. He's gonna find his cutters. You can't play zone against the Denver Nuggets. They'll fucking kill you. And I mean, if you try to double him, that's not an option. He'll find the open man right away. Single coverage, he'll destroy you. It's just so many problems that he poses offensively, and it's just I don't think Miami has quite enough to deal with. I think like to your point, I think they can get 2 games, and I think they will get 2 games, but I don't see them getting any more than that. So yeah, Nuggets in 6.
And something you were mentioning before the playoffs is the Nuggets' depth, and they do have a lack of depth. You're not wrong at all. Not wrong at all. But man, it's just that 6-player core they've got going on. We can count out Christian Braun because he hasn't done too much. I mean, he is effective at moments.
They may give him a little more of a shot in game 2.
It's so complete with those 6 players in Jokic, Pope, Murray, Gordon. Who am I missing the starting lineup?
Brown.
Porter Jr. And then Brown off the bench.
Yeah.
There's no holes there. And all these guys can play the entire game. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. They don't even have to make substitutions. They don't give a fuck about their depth. That's why they're letting guys like Reggie Jackson, Thomas Bryant, and Jeff Green at this point. I don't know if he's playing that much. If he played that much in game 1.
I think I fell into that trap also of just like putting a little too much weight on the depth issues for Denver, because the playoff rotations are shorter anyways. You usually don't see teams go more than 8 guys deep. And Denver has a really, really strong top 8 guys, and they really haven't even had to go 8. They're
Jeff Green and Christian Braun played much less minutes than they did earlier.
Yeah,
in the series.
but I think you can plug a Christian Braun, and he's so much more mature for his age. I mean, he's a rookie, but he's already impacting a team at a finals level. So I think they have reliable guys on their bench that they can go to. So I think the depth was a bit overblown, and I kind of fell into that trap too a little bit. But yeah, man, they're just so impressive. I think they're the best, when you look at team basketball, I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say they remind them of the 2014 Spurs, right? The way they just play together.
Oh, yeah.
And it
Great
just all stems
right
from Jokic and Murray in that 2-man game, and just how he's such a great offensive hub, man. They're different, yeah.
Nuggets in 6?
I agree. Nuggets in 6. That's the pick.
One more topic we can talk about before we wrap this up when it comes to NBA. Something that we haven't discussed. The NBA draft lottery, man. In my opinion... One of the biggest lotteries of all time, and as I've said to you so many times, in my opinion, this is the best top 3 of all time in any NBA draft.
That's a bold statement, bro.
NBA draft, and Victor, Scoot, and Brandon Miller. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Think about it.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. It's a bold statement.
And then if you say no, what's a top 3 that beats it?
I'm thinking, right? Okay, so you look at the 84 with Jordan, Hakeem, and I guess Bowie was in the top 3, so that doesn't really count. But Bowie. LeBron, Melo, and Wade in 2003. I mean, I don't think that you can't really compare it yet because they haven't stepped on the floor. But I see the potential. I definitely give you that. Like the potential for Brandon Miller to be a Paul George type player, the potential for Scoot Henderson to reach like a Russell Westbrook type level. And these are not comparisons, by the way. Please, I'm not trying to give outlandish comparisons, but like those type of players that they can reach that kind of level.
Bro, that LeBron draft. It was LeBron, Darko Milicic.
Oh,
and
I
then
forgot
Carmelo
about
Anthony.
Darko, guys. I'm so sorry. Do not question my basketball knowledge. That is crazy. I'm
do
sorry.
question your basketball
No.
knowledge.
That's crazy.
you
That's
do, bro.
unforgivable. I do forget about Darko. But, I mean, yeah, top 3 then, I think you might be right. This might be the most talented top 3 that we've seen coming out of college, at least, or coming out of overseas. But because they haven't stepped on the floor yet, so it's hard to gauge, you know, like
All
where they're at.
three guys, in my opinion, have all-star potential.
No, I
more
agree.
than all-star potential. More
Yeah.
all-star starter potential. Yeah, that's right. I said it. All-star starter potential. Scoot Henderson. This guy can play with the ball or off the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He is a strong 1 or 2. This guy is so talented. One of the most talented guards. I think we'll go down one of the top 10 or top 20 most by the time his career is over. Most talented guards ever. I mean, this guy shows so much promise with the G League in high school.
You said
as well.
what? Top 5 most talented guards ever?
No, top 10 or top 20. I don't know. Somewhere.
okay.
Not top 5.
I was like, okay.
No, come on. But and then Brandon Miller, man. I know he had that whole gun incident, but
Yeah.
people are really sleeping on this guy. I think he has a ceiling of Kevin Durant. Call me crazy.
I mean, Kevin Durant's a stretch just because he doesn't have the same like
Ceiling.
build.
Yes,
But
he
he's
does.
Dude, he's like 6'8", not
He's like
7
6'10",
foot.
bro.
Brandon Miller's 6'10". Look it up. He might be 6'10", but he's not like. He's not. Kevin Durant is like 7 foot.
6'9".
Okay,
In the middle.
he's not 7. He's not. Kevin Durant's a bit of a stretch, but I could see I didn't say like a comparison, but Paul George
I
is
knew
like
you were
a
gonna say
good,
that.
like
I knew you
he
were gonna
he
say
does
that.
like a little bit like that. But I do see the ceiling though. I definitely see where it's coming from, and the same with Scoot. I think that guy is gonna be a stud, and Wemby of course.
We don't
is
even
gonna
need to
be a
talk
stud.
about that guy.
Yeah, but I mean,
all-time great.
Who? Wemby?
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. With the mentorship of
Top 3 of all time?
Tony, top 3 of all time is crazy. I'm not gonna go there yet because bro, LeBron and Jordan level is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
But man, I think Wemby landed in the perfect situation. But dude, Portland getting a top 3 pick was probably like the shock of the draft to me because I didn't see them going up that high.
And we already had this discussion. We'll wrap it up on this.
Yeah.
What does Portland do with this pick? And before you tell me, in my opinion, I see everybody either trade the pick or trade Lillard, one of the two. But man, I think they should go ahead and take Brandon Miller if he's available. If Miller goes 2, you trade Lillard and pick up Scoot, or you trade Scoot, one of the two. But I just think Brandon Miller will make that team complete. I just do. I think there'll be 0 holes in that starting lineup. And then you have a strong depth in Matisse Thybulle, Cam Reddish as well. Guys coming off the bench. Look at that starting lineup if they take Brandon Miller, guys. Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, Brandon Miller, Jeremy Grant, Yusuf Nurkic, and then that bench as I just mentioned. I say you give that team a shot for a year. Why not? If it goes south, trade Lillard. That is such a good starting lineup. I don't see why you don't give it a shot if you can land Miller. If they get Scoot, it just won't work with Lillard, Simons, and Scoot. That's just not going to work at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think they draft whoever they see is the better player
Yeah,
between
we don't
Scoot
really
and
know what
Miller.
they think.
Like they're gonna. I mean, well, no, Charlotte has the second pick, so whoever Charlotte takes, I mean, it's not really up to them. Whoever's on the board is who they're gonna get. Like
Exactly.
Scoot or Miller is who they're gonna get, but it's not really their choice.
Or they trade
My
the pick.
fucking point is get rid of Damian Lillard, bro. Can he get out of here, bro?
Dang.
Like at this
He's
point,
asking for too much. I agree. I think that is the
But
second
what is he
option for
even
them.
asking for? What is he asking for? For them to build a new team around him?
Trade
Like, I
that
don't
pick
think
for... I don't know, man.
You're gonna trade the 3rd overall pick for what? Pascal Siakam. Let's say that, right? Let's say they go for Pascal, or and this is
No, they're still not a championship team.
exactly.
You're right. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So why even consider doing that? You just gotta make this pick and build with Anthony, Nas Little, all the young talent that you have. You
Bro
have
brought up
some.
Nas.
I mean, he's good, bro. He's good. Hey,
Nah,
don't
he
sleep
is,
on
he
Nas
is,
Little,
he is.
bro.
Nah, I
He's
shouldn't
good. He
sleep,
was
you're right.
injured a lot this year. The Blazers have young talent that they can just start a young core, bro. But they're dragging this Lillard thing. He does not need to be here anymore. He wants a contender. They don't have the means for that, bro. They can't trade for the pieces that are going to make them contender. They can't draft the pieces that are going to make them contender. What are they going to do? They can't sign them in free agency. They don't have money. There is no path for Damian Lillard to be on a contending team
right.
in Portland.
You're right.
He has to go if he wants to make it. And he's like making this a joke now. He's like arguing with, if the fans want to trade me, start the petition. Like,
Going on
bro,
Instagram Live. talking
yeah, I don't
crazy,
understand, bro. Like this whole Portland situation. I'm glad they got the pick though. It's big for them. They should be happy.
Speaking of that, one thing we can agree on is they have options.
Yeah, for sure. And
They
that's
have
a good thing.
options.
Yeah.
They have a lot of options here. They can do 3 things. They could take Miller, they could take Scoot, or they could trade the pick.
Yeah.
We'll see what they do. We'll end it on that. A lot of NBA draft to talk. We're going to talk
Yes,
NBA
sir,
draft
man.
every
That's the
week.
buzz coming up.
Every week until this draft happens, and then we're going to talk about it after once all these moves happen. Man, that draft night, not just with the picks, with the trades too. I think we see a lot,
bro.
and
I
I'm
think
looking
so
forward to it.
Yeah, busy offseason. I'm excited.
It's gonna be great. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully
sir.
this looked good. Hopefully we can get this as well because we had some issues with our files before.
Oh,
but
yeah.
man, hopefully this gets out to you guys. We're really excited. Bright future to come with the Hookshot Podcast. And
Yes, sir. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Oh my God, stay tuned.
right.
So much to come. All right, baby. Signing off for now. Lucas, Rohan. We'll
Peace.
catch you on the next episode. Adios.